The French defense, a sturdy classical choice for black here.
Sturdy, yes, but it's all about the delayed counter-strike. Black accepts a slightly cramped position early on to strike back at the centre later.
White opts for nd2, the Tarrasch variation, and black responds with a6.
A bit passive, isn't it? a6 is a waiting move, essentially asking white to commit to a plan before black decides where to put the pressure.
The tension in the center breaks as white takes on d5.
And black is happy to recapture. The pawn structure is shifting, and white's knight on d2 is starting to look a bit misplaced.
The knight leaps into d4, claiming a central outpost.
Look at the heat map, the board is turning purple here. This is a genuine fight for the heart of the board, and neither side is willing to budge.
Black decides to eliminate the bishop on f4.
A strategic trade. White's bishop was active, and by removing it, black simplifies the defense of their own king and removes a key attacker.
The queen moves to b6, immediately eyeing the b2 pawn.
That's the French spirit. Once the center is stabilized, you immediately probe the weaknesses on the wings.
Black pushes d4, seizing more space in the center.
The control shift is palpable. The board is becoming decidedly blue. Black has the initiative and the space to breathe.
The rooks are brought into the game. It's a cautious phase of maneuvering.
Cautious for white, perhaps. Black is just preparing the ground for the next breakthrough.
Black pushes g5, starting an aggressive expansion on the kingside.
A bit provocative, but with the center closed. A flank attack is the only way to create real winning chances.
The knight arrives on b4, threatening the c2 square.
The infiltration is complete. That knight is a bone in white's throat, and there's very little white can do to displace it.
White plays rxe7, sacrificing the rook for a pawn.
A desperate attempt to create chaos. But sacrificing material without a clear mating net is usually just a fast track to losing.
Then, a shocking move, white gives up the queen on c8.
That's not a sacrifice, that's a collapse. White is trying to trade pieces to stop the bleeding, but the damage is already done.
Black recaptures, and the board state shifts dramatically.
Exactly, the blue dominance is almost total now. White has no active pieces left to contest the squares.
The queen begins a sweep of the queenside, taking the b2 pawn.
Clinical, when you have a winning advantage, you don't rush. You just remove every single counter chance one by one.
The bishop on g4 is traded away, and the d-pawn begins its march.
The passed pawn is the final nail. Once that d-pawn moves, the game is essentially a solved puzzle.
The pawn promotes to a second queen, and its mate on f3.
A complete demolition. Black played the position with a level of precision that left white with no air.